It has been a while since I actually made videos here. Uh, I still love this channel. I think Mtimkhulu is still one of the great channels in terms of, you know, articulating facts, making points, that sort of stuff. I think this is a great channel in terms of expressing my views in a manner that is fair, accurate, and objective. You know, those are the guiding principles that I follow. In this video, I am responding to Pastor Manning of Law. He produced a video called "Her Name is Miss Ann." Basically, he's talking about the mother of Obama, and I kind of feel that it's important to respond to a video like that because some of the points that he's making are provocative, and but before I get into the video, I think it is fair to pay tribute to the man. You really want to pay tribute to the kind of passion and overzealous spirit that he exhibits. You got to give it to the man. He seemingly has a genuine belief in what he talks about, for better or for worse. But at least the man believes what he says. Now, even though he's not informed about some of the things he talks about, like Africa, for example, but that is understandable because he was not born in Africa, has never been to Africa, and does not even know where Africa is. I mean, for example, doesn't even know that Egypt is part of Africa. So I consider, those kinds of mistakes to be an honest mistake on his part. In this video, I am specifically responding, as I already mentioned, to his video. Her name is Miss Ann, which is about, of course, the mother of Barack Obama. We do know, of course, that Pastor Manning detests President Obama. Now, in this particular video, he's making a point that Obama is not a black guy because his mother is not black. So, anyways, but what I want to do, anyways, is I just want to make a specific response to about 5 points that Pastor Manning raises in his video. Her name is Miss Ann. Some of those points are, for example, Obama is not black because of his mixed heritage. Zimbabwe is mismanaged under Mugabe. A black man, regardless of the degree of his education, cannot understand the world. A black person never built anything, and that Egypt is not in Africa. Okay, so let's tackle the first one, which is Obama is not black because his mother is not black. To say that Obama is not black or is not black enough because of his mixed heritage is the most unsophisticated statement I've ever heard. Great legends like W.E.B, Du Bois are of mixed heritage. Another one I came to think of is the great four-star General Colin Powell, who is of, let's say, Scottish heritage. Halle Berry, Alicia Keys, The Rock, and many others are of mixed heritage, through a white mother. Actually, that's quite interesting, actually. What I've noticed about North America is that a lot of mixed marriages are based on a white mother and a black father. And in South Africa, it's quite interesting, is the reverse. A lot of mixed marriages in South Africa is the white father and a black mother. It's very rare to see a white mother and a black father in South Africa. Interesting, but that's not the point. I'm just mentioning that in passing. Anyways, just to get back to my point, but a mixed heritage should not discount the fact that somebody is of African descent. And by denouncing the legendary role of a white woman in the advancement of African people, to me it's like a slave master who detests and denounces, an enslaved woman, but has no qualms consorting with her as a wench. So I think the point I'm making is that great people of racial mix are part of a beautiful tapestry that has made African people who they are today. And we should accept this as our heritage. We shouldn't pick and choose. Now, another point that Pastor Mene makes is that Mugabe mismanaged Zimbabwe. Well, the interesting thing is that even though, Mugabe, President Robert Mugabe, is not liked by the former colonizers of England, Zimbabwe is surprisingly one of the most progressive countries on the African continent. For example, one of the areas in which Zimbabwe excels, even excels better than South Africa, is educational literacy and work ethic. I noticed in South Africa that a lot of restaurants, for example, hire Zimbabwean workers as opposed to the local South African workers because of the work ethic. Another reason is because of the literacy. Today, Zimbabwe is number one on the continent, on the African continent, in terms of literacy, despite the fact that their GDP is smaller than their rich neighbor, which is South Africa. So just do and I would encourage Pastor Mene just to do a simple Google looking for a list of countries by literacy. And he'll be astounded that Zimbabwe is on top of the list on the African continent. There are other African countries that are also doing very well in literacy, like for example Seychelles. But Seychelles is an island; it's outside the continent. But actually, the continent itself, on the continent, the king of the literacy jungle is Zimbabwe. So now, how are they able to achieve this, even though they are such a small economy? That is the best kept secret. Now, another point that we need to tackle is the one where Pastor Manning says that a black man can be trained as a physician, astrophysicist, or lawyer, but you cannot train him to understand the world, because a black man is not capable of understanding the world. Well, this is another unsophisticated statement, because to say a black man cannot understand the world despite attaining a high level of education is misguided. I mean, one of the greatest medical scientists on the planet today is Dr. Benjamin Solomon Carson, who made history as a neurosurgeon. I mean, here is a guy who comes from the inner city of Detroit and was raised by a single mother, and he became the greatest neurosurgeons the world has ever produced. And this guy's educational achievement is not just confined to his work, but actually through his innovative techniques in neurosurgery, he has had an impact on neurosurgery, on neuroscience, even a field such as computational neuroscience, is being advanced by the kind of techniques that he has used. So he's brought a lot. And as I recall, for example, one of the surgical operations he carried out was in South Africa, a case of co-joint twins. And as I recall, Dr. Carson donated his services. He didn't charge them for what he was supposed to charge them. So it would have cost, let's say, about $1 million to pay him for the service, but for him it was a labor of love. So Dr. Carson has changed the field of neurosurgery and neuroscience as a result of his innovative work. To say that a black man who's trained as a doctor is not capable of understanding the world is misguided. So there you have it, a black guy who's educated like a doctor and has contributed to world civilization. Another point is the point where Pastor Manning says that a black person never built a city, never built a sewage, never built anything. To say a black man never built a city, never built a sewage or anything is unfounded. And it's just a sign of miseducation on the part of Pastor Manning. For example, one of the greatest cities ever built was the city of Timbuktu. What makes this city great and unique is that it was a university town at a time when Europeans were still drinking from the skulls of their ancestors. When everybody made money out of iron and blacksmithing, Timbuktu made money out of books, out of ideas. So it was a modern city at the time, with a sophisticated storage system. And they had more than 1 million manuscripts, which are still surviving even today. In fact, the oldest seat university is not found in Europe, but is found in Africa. Another important fact that I think Pastor Manning is not aware of, but all that he has to do really is just do a Google and look for the oldest university on the planet. And you'll be shocked to realize that the oldest university on the planet is from Africa. Countries like, for example, Morocco, Mali, Timbuktu, they built the oldest university. And we're talking about old university in terms of modern university. And what's also interesting is that the university was built by a woman, you see. So I challenge Pastor Manning to do a Google on oldest university, and you will learn that Africa built the oldest universities long before Europe had their own university. Very important. Now, Pastor Manning also says that the last point is, he says that Egypt is not in Africa. My. Now, in this day in 2012, and somebody does not know that Egypt is in Africa, well, okay, anyways, Geography 101. Egypt is found in North Africa. Just go north. I'm from South Africa, so you just have to go north. And the last part, once you just go straight north, and once you reach the ocean, you are in Egypt. The original natives of Egypt are the Black Africans. Those are the pharaohs. Now the current Egyptians are from Middle East, and they took Egypt through a colonial conquest in the late 600s AD, which explains why they speak Arabic. The original Egyptians went southward in countries like Nubia, which is modern-day Sudan, and other parts of Africa. Actually, what's interesting is that most of the pyramids are not even in Egypt. They are in Sudan, because that's where the original pharaohs settled, when they lost Egypt. So anyways, there you have it. If you think that Egypt is only in Africa, now you know Egypt is in Africa. If you think that a black man, despite his education, cannot understand the world, now you know. Not only do they understand the world, but they contribute to the civilization of the world. I hope this helps. Thank you.